Let the countdown begin. 12. You're about to meet 11. One of the best acupuncturists this planet has ever seen. 9. On a quest of enlightenment. 8. To open your mind to a form of medicine that has yet to become widely accepted in the Western Hemisphere. 5. Sit with me 4. As I introduce you 3. To the world of acupuncture. 2. 1. Let us begin.
Hello, and welcome back to my show. I'm Dr. Lott, your host and educator from Acupuncture is My Life. Today I plan to talk about the benefits of acupuncture, exercise, and nutrition as a power-packed health combination. To begin, I'd like to introduce to you Centrella Young-Trotty, a certified fitness trainer and yoga instructor. And returning for another episode is the widely acclaimed registered dietitian, nutritionist, and weight loss coach, Elizabeth Madison. I will begin today's discussion with acupuncture and exercise. Now, when it comes to my patients who exercise, or patients of mine in which I strongly recommend adding an exercise regimen to their daily routine, I tend to focus on invigorating and reinforcing qi and blood to prevent or clear any form of qi stagnation or blood stasis. Now, qi stagnation in Chinese medicine is an extremely common pathogenic factor. In layman's terms, it's the impeded flow of energy throughout the body. One of many causes of qi stagnation is lack of exercise. In today's society, we tend to live a sedentary lifestyle by choice, which is not a healthy habit to have. When it comes to Chinese medicine, qi stagnation cannot cause cancer, heart disease, or stroke. In contrast, blood stasis is involved in those disorders. Now, blood stasis is a derivative of qi stagnation. This is why I focus on invigorating qi and blood and/or reinforcing qi and blood in my acupuncture treatment sessions, especially in my patients who are either fitness fanatics or those I strongly recommend they consider adding an exercise regimen to their daily routine. Now, Centrella, being that you're a fitness trainer, I have a few questions for you.
Okay.
Why should people exercise?
Well, overall health, it has to be obtained through exercise, your mental and your physical. It's necessary.
Okay. Well, how much exercise would you recommend for overall optimal health?
I'd say a minimum of 200 hours a week.
Wow.
I mean,
Okay.
I'm sorry, 200 minutes, not 200 hours, 200 minutes.
Okay.
So if you would do 3 to 4 days with a minimum of 30 minutes, it would get you to a place of habit, routine, healthier. You would start to avoid some minor things of backaches, knee problems, just keeping the whole body strong,
Right.
so we can avoid injury in our old age.
Well, now, how much exercise would you recommend in terms of days per week for an individual that's interested in losing weight?
Well, losing weight's a little different. So first you would have to decrease your calories. So once we've taken out some of the calories, now we're going to replace that with time spent working out. So I would say 4 to 5 days when we're trying to lose weight, because we have to work a little bit harder to get rid of some of that stored up fat and get rid of the bad habits and the routines. So we'd work out a little bit more to lose weight than we would to just stay in a healthy space, which is two different things.
Gotcha. Now, let's say if someone's cost for time, they don't have time to get into the gym
Okay.
or really engage in an extensive exercise routine
Okay.
in the morning. What's one full body exercise you would recommend?
Well, I can tell you
Fine.
3. How about
Okay,
that?
let's shoot for
Okay,
three.
so the best is old-fashioned jumping jacks.
Okay.
They're amazing. Planks, it's going to work the entire body, strengthen the core, which is what we all need. And my last one, which most people may not like so much, is burpees.
Oh, man.
Right? So here's what happens. So now we're engaging multiple body parts at one time.
Right.
So then we have small muscle groups and large muscle groups working together, which will cause us to have more energy, which will get us stronger, right? So the more muscle we build, the more fat we can ultimately burn. So these exercises use so much of the whole of all our muscles that we don't have to do 20 minutes of it. So we can do 3 minutes of planks. We can do 100 jumping jacks, which takes 2 minutes, right? We can do a minute of burpees. You do this every day, you'll start to get stronger.
Here's a key question.
Yes.
This is a trick question as well.
A trick question.
What would you consider to be more important, exercising or healthy eating?
Both.
Good answer.
You can't have
Good
one
answer.
without the other. You can't have one without the other. Your diet, okay, so if you're going to say if you're trying to lose weight, first thing is diet, yes? You're trying to increase your health. You're having maybe some problems with diabetes, or you're having some problems with your heart problems, or you're having arthritis, then exercise is more important. So it's just a balance, right? It's just a healthy balance of the two. You need them both. You need to eat better and do a little exercise.
And that's what acupuncture is all about, balance.
Absolutely.
Yin and yang. Now, from a diet nutrition point of view, acupuncture has several meridians that can assist with optimal digestion and elimination to assist with weight loss. These meridians include the large intestine meridian, the spleen meridian, and stomach meridian, along with points on the conception vessel, which I will go into detail about in separate shows discussing these meridians individually. Now, Elizabeth, I have a few questions for you from a diet nutrition point of view. The trick question starts with you. What would you consider to be more important, exercise or healthy eating?
So again, I would agree with Centrella. They are both equally important. You simply cannot just eat well,
Right.
and you simply can't exercise. We need to move the body every single day. The body was designed to move. And so even if you're doing a great diet, you have fruits and vegetables, and you're doing all that, if you're not moving your body, you're not, one, burning the stored fat on your body, especially if you have a little bit too much of it, right? And even if you are in good health, your body does better when it's in movement, all right, when it's physically active. We were designed to move. So even if you're just doing the jumping jacks, the planks, the burpees, just to get you started, you are going to feel better, have more energy. I like to say get the blood moving in the morning, right? So that you can just feel like you have more movement, and that is helpful overall. So they're both important.
Well, let me ask you this. What do you feel a person should eat before and after exercise?
Now, this is really a good question because it really depends on what time you're exercising. So let's say you are an early morning person, right? And you are in the gym or you're outdoors exercising, and it's like 6 o'clock in the morning. Well, some people really can't manage having something that early in the morning.
Right.
Well, if they can, I'm always going to recommend one serving of carbohydrate, which can be a piece of fruit. It can be a slice of bread with a little bit of peanut butter, but you got to give yourself about 30 minutes to digest that before you go into the exercise. Why is that? Is because your body utilizes glucose, which comes from carbohydrates, to get you moving. And remember, if you're exercising early in the morning, the last meal that you had may have been 10, 12 hours earlier.
Right.
And so you don't want to start exercising with no reserves. And even though people think that, well, no, if I don't have any reserves, then I'll burn fat. That's not the way the body works. Your body will always burn glucose first and then start burning fat. And you'll always get the benefits from exercise if you just do it. But you don't want to do it on an empty, with no reserves, because you will hit a wall. So now, if you're doing it at the end of the day, same premise. You want to make sure you have something to eat at least 45 minutes before you do the exercise. And again, that could be a carbohydrate and a protein. So again, it could be an apple with peanut butter. It could be a slice of Ezekiel bread, one of my favorite breads, with peanut butter. It could be some hummus with whole grain crackers, something, again, to power you up. Now, what's really important about that is think of it like this. You may have had lunch at 12 or 1 o'clock, but you're not going to go to the gym until, let's say, 7 or 6. Now, that means that it's been over 5 hours since you've eaten. You really want to be able to get a good workout because, as Centrella said, you want to work out for a minimum of 200 minutes per week, which kind of works out to between 30 and 60 minutes per session. it's going to be really hard to plow through that workout if you don't have enough reserves. So you absolutely want to make sure you have that carbohydrate, protein before you work out, so that you can get to that exercise and really feel good and energized.
Well, let me ask you this. Do you feel a person should be on a low-carb diet if they're exercising?
Oh. Now,
Not letting you off the hook.
I can be here all day. Now, I need you to understand, first of all, what are carbohydrates, okay? Because everybody says, oh, I'm on a low-carb diet, I'm on a low-carb diet. Really? Let me tell you what that means, right? That means that you're eating very little fruits, very little vegetables, very little dairy, very little sweeteners, maple, molasses, agave nectar, honey, things like that. You are having very little grains, rice, bread, pasta. So you're kind of like not eating any of those, because all those foods, and vegetables, including sweet potatoes, white potatoes, and non-starchy vegetables like onions, mushrooms, peppers, asparagus. Those are all carbs. So when you say that you're cutting back on carbs or you're going low carb, what you really mean is you're kind of like laying off all those starches, okay? So what we really like to say is, if you're trying to promote weight loss, let's get you on a higher protein diet, not a massive amount of protein, and that's for another presentation, right? And a low to moderate amount of carbohydrates. And that means that the majority of your meals will include fruits and non-starchy vegetables. And you're going to really lay back on that rice, bread, and pasta and croissants that we so love.
Yes.
But now, when it comes to strength training, how much protein would you say the average individual needs?
Now, I get this question from my clients all the time. Let me explain about protein very briefly. Your body doesn't use protein as a fuel source. Your body uses protein to do building and repair work. So when you eat that steak or chicken, eggs, oxtail, seafood, your body takes that protein and breaks it down into amino acids. Amino acids are like little jigsaw puzzle pieces that your body uses to build things like antibodies, hormones, enzymes, skin cells. Protein is the building blocks of muscle. It doesn't magically give you muscle. So because your body doesn't use protein as a fuel source, but you do use it to build muscle, you do need some of it, but very little. And so for the calculation is, it's 1 gram of protein per kilogram of weight. So let me kind of break that down. So if you are a 100-pound person, right, which is a whole different issue, if you're a 100-pound person, you need about 100 grams of protein. All right, and most people don't even need that if they're not doing any strength training. All right, there are some groups that need more, like seniors, like teenagers, but again, it's about because they're physically active and they're growing, or they need to retain what they have.
Wow, interesting, guys. Wow. Well, ladies, I will say, it was great having you on my show, and I hope this episode answered basic questions regarding acupuncture, exercise, and nutrition. And guys, please hit the subscribe button to learn more about the many benefits of acupuncture. And until next time, acupuncture is my life. What's yours?
Acupuncture is my life.